welcome back to the Citizen Channel. Hope you all stay safe and well on our player ratings show for Villarreal 0 City 2. Yes, that'll do. That header had gone in near the end. It might have been a panicky last few minutes, but another game that was hard to rate on the player ratings because I think most players had a very, very good first half, but of course, for whatever reason, whether Villarreal improved, they certainly never gave up on the press. We just didn't quite, we weren't quite at the races for most of the second half. So it's one of those when you score players, you think that perhaps well, what happened to you in the second half? But we could only go on what we've got, can't we? And Simon Bajkowski did that. I'll comment on what I thought as well, and we'll have some Sofascore stats that don't always back up perhaps what we saw with our eyes, but we'll get into that when we do it. Please, guys, if you are new to the channel, this is a player rating show. There will be a story of the game as well, where I'll look a bit more in depth at the match itself rather than the players. Look out for that. Press those buttons, subscribe button if you've not already done so, like it. Give us a hype, give us some hype points, guys, if you've got any to share, if you've not shared them about already. New thing on YouTube, of course, so any hype points help the channel algorithms and all this sort of thing, get me out there a bit more on the other social media things as well, show up on searches more, etc. So if you can help me out on that, guys, be much appreciated. A little bit more later on other ways you can help the channel as well if you like the content. Right, let's get started with this. Simon Bajkowski said of Donnarumma, made an important save in the second half to keep City in control and was alert all evening. He scored him an 8. Yeah, I think that was good. I think 8's a bit high. I think it was a save he would have expected himself to make, and I certainly would expect him to make. And of course, when he was beaten, it was saved fortunately by the post. No fault of his. Of course, another set piece that we didn't defend or particularly well, but it's just one of those things. They're always going to get chances, aren't they? And Villarreal, I thought, played really well the last 30 minutes. So yeah, Donnarumma, I won't give him an 8 out of 10. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I'll give him one better than the average. Look at his stats: 2 total saves. He prevented 0.35 of a goal. Don't know what that means, but there you go. Saves from inside the box, 1. Errors leading to shot, 1. Accurate passes, 28 out of 31, 90%. Passes into the opposition half, he had 3. None of them were successful. Passes his own half, 100%, 28 out of 28. Just around the back 4, really. And long balls accurate, 1 out of 4. That's 25%. On to Nunes. Yes, Simon said he was brilliant at the back and even better working forward with Lewis and Savinho in the first half. 8 out of 10 from Simon. Brilliant? Yeah, I think it was very good. I'm not going to go brilliant. So I'll go on at a 7 again for Nunes. Nothing much wrong tonight, but he's getting a habit with Nunes, isn't he? He's getting very good at this role. No bozos that I noticed. Let's have a look at his stats. 1 tackle, 1 out of 1. 1 interception, 3 recoveries, 4 ground duels, 1 out of 5. 1 foul, 97 out of 99 accurate passes, 98%. Passes in the opposition half, 52 out of 55. And in his own half, 45 out of 45. Well, we don't want to be passing it to them in our own half, do we? Long balls accurate, 3 out of 3. So, yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, I'm not surprised Simon gave him an 8, but I think I'll stick with a 7 even so. Don't want to get him to get too big-headed, do we, old Matthias? On to Diaz. Simon said a harsh booking in the second half. It was a little bit. He just nudged the keeper, didn't he? Nothing really untoward. But otherwise kept on top of Villarreal threats with minimum fuss. And he's given a 7. And as ever, I'm a little bit lower than Simon. As I said, I'm taking into a second half as well, which we coped okay, but we didn't look as smooth. I think the ref liked his cards, didn't he? And Diaz just suffered one of those. Solid stuff from Diaz again, as we'd expect, or I expect. He has to say he does the job, doesn't he? He's been there a long time now. He knows how to do things. He won. He lost. He only had 1 tackle, which he didn't win. 1 interception, 3 clearances. He blocked 1 shot. Made 2 recoveries. He won 2 out of 2 ground duels, 2 out of 2 aerial duels, which is good. He doesn't always win his aerial duels. 1 foul. 114 of his 117 passes were accurate. In the opposition half, 35 out of 36. In his own half, 79 out of 81. So the couple that may have put us in trouble. Long balls, 1 out of 3. But that's probably what we expect from Diaz anyway. On to Stonesy. A class act, said Simon. He certainly is. Strolling into midfield to help City whenever they were in possession, or knowing when he had to get back. He's given him a 7. Yeah, now for once, I've bettered Simon's score, but he does. He's so cool, isn't he? This is the role he was sort of playing in the treble season. I think that he played last night. That he played with great effect in Europe. And yeah, just when you think he's lost it, he gets it back and stuff like this. He just, so he does scare you a little bit, but he's brilliant in this position. And you say we all know for a fit Stonesy week in week out with the odd injury over the last few years, I think City would have been a better team. I think we would have won more. I know it's hard to say that, but I think we would with the fit Stonesy. In this sort of form, he's world class, but he's injury prone and. That means he doesn't get that world-class label, but for me, he is. So I'll give him a 7.5 for last night. It was a bit like the old Stonesy. Whether he'll be fit for Villa, I do not know. I have no idea. I took it out of him last night. Anyway, he won 2 out of 2 tackles, 5 clearances, 1 block shot. He won 4 out of 5 ground duels. He won all his 3 aerial duels. 73 out of 75 of his passes were accurate. I thought it was near 100%. Passing the opposition half, 36 out of 36. 37 out of 39 of his own half. Long balls, 5 out of 5 were accurate. Yeah, so good old Stonesy. Keep going, mate. Guardiola, Simon said a few sloppy passes. Yep, true Guardiola's eye. Drew mine as well on the touchline. He's still settling into the season. Yeah, but he's stuck him back in a position. He's given him a chance that's back at centre half where he's at his best. With his new haircut, he's not too happy at. He's been asked to go back to left back again. Of course, O'Reilly deserves a rest as well as needs a rest. But I thought he did struggle at times. Although the stats don't particularly show him up too much, but I didn't think he was that good last night. I thought, the bad balls that made me groan all seemed to come from mop-head Guardiola. So anyway, I'll give him a 5.5. I can't give him. Simon's given him a 6. I can't give him a 6. I just thought he was weak. But the stats perhaps don't sort of say that. They say he won 2 out of 2 tackles, 2 interceptions. He made 7 clearances, 2 recoveries. He won 3 out of 4 ground duels, 3 out of 5 aerial duels, 1 foul. 70 out of 78 passes were accurate, so 90%. That's down on the night. I mean, I think City as a team had 96% pass accuracy. I've not seen that for a long time, anything like that. So he was a bit down on that. Passes in opposition half, 28 out of 33 and 42 out of 45 in his own half. Long balls, just 2, of which 1 was just accurate. So yeah, perhaps I've been a bit cruel with 5.5, but I did think he was possibly our weakest player last night. Gonzalez, yes, I do love the lad. And I don't want to say this. Is he a bit mardy? Could you have played on last night? Did he just get stood on in a bit of a knock? And that's what Pep says it was. You sort of shrug it off, don't you? Don't you shrug them sort of things off? I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, mate, that you've got to take players off for stuff like that. I suppose you have, but. Could you see someone like, all right, he wasn't in the same position, but you could see someone like Zabaleta coming off because someone kicked him, he'd hobble around for a bit at least, wouldn't he? Try and play on, and that's the thing. He just came off. So anyway, what do you think, guys? I say am I being too cruel? Anyway, Simon said he looked good with terrific aware because I stick up for Gonzalez, as you know. I'm a big Gonzalez fan, but I will criticise if I think something's wrong. Simon said looked good with terrific awareness of everything around him, although concerned that he had to hobble off. Yeah, but Pep said it's just a kick or a knock or something. Probably won't play against Villa, but there you go. They never do when it's something minor, do they? Anyway, 7 out of 10 from Simon. I've given him a 7 as well. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I just think, like most of the team, a bit quiet a second half, but I thought it was excellent the first half, so I give him a 7. His stats. 52 out of 56 passes were accurate, 29 out of 31 in the opposition half, 23 out of 25 in the own half successful, 2 accurate long balls out of 4. He won 1 tackle that he took part in, 4 recoveries. He won 2 out of 6 ground duels. I thought that might have been higher. 1 foul, 63 touches. 2 dribble attempts, 1 successful, and he lost possession 7 times, which isn't that bad, guys. Really. On to Bernardo, like the old Bernardo. This isn't it. This is quite scary to see Bernardo. But we knew for this European game. I knew he'd be put in the team and start and do a job, and that's what he did, and even better, wasn't it? Simon said scored a goal. isn't called Haaland, yeah, so that's a rare thing in itself, isn't it? Better than usual in attack and some key tackles from further back. Yeah, we've seen Bernardo score important goals in Champions League games for City where it matters at the sharp end. I always wanted him to play up the sharp end. I mean, he's getting a bit long in the tooth now for me to bang on about that, but I used to in the old days. I wanted him in and around the box all the time. But yeah, he was all over the pitch last night. Simon's given me an 8. All right, I've given him a 7.5. I perhaps should have given him an 8 now. I've praised him like that, but just more like the old Burnley, not quite. Obviously, he's not quite the old Burnley because he's a little bit older, isn't he? So he's still not quite up to it. But I'll give him a 7.5. But I thought he had a really good game last night. He made one key pass. He had 6 crosses. Only one was accurate. Accurate passes 62 out of 68. In the opposition half, accurate 33 out of 41. But 30 out of 33 in his home box. So, yeah, not great, but, you know, he was busy. He's one of the busiest players on the pitch. Long balls, 2 out of 3 were accurate. He had 84 touches. One unsuccessful touch. I have no idea what that means. I don't know. He lost possession 12 times, which for that position is okay. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with 7.5 out of 10. I'm not going to go to 8 like Simon did. On to Rico, who I was a bit surprised he started, but we'll talk about him anyway, my views. But Simon said ran the game in the first half with Savvy. Even if his influence faded as the second period wore on, he gave him a 7. Yeah, I sort of... He did run it, but he also sort of messed a couple of things up that could have been better. But the thing is with Lewis, you sort of forgive the Odricks because he's a bloody nuisance, isn't he? And he can play some nice, neat football and complement other players like, of course, Savino in this instance. He's just a nuisance around the box. Like everyone, and Simon said there, I think everyone sort of faded in that second period. But I'll give him a 6.5. Simon's given him a 7. Perhaps I've been harsh. Let's have a look at his stats. 1 assist. Expected assist, 0.43. So obviously that means he was better, doesn't it? Big chances created, 1 key pass. 1 accurate cross out of 1. Accurate passes, 18 out of 20. So, yeah, it's a lot of the players weren't as busy. We'll get to Haaland later. Not as busy as perhaps we would have thought, certainly from that first half. Passes in opposition half that were accurate, 13 out of 16. 4 out of 5 in his own half. 1 shot blocked. 1 big chance missed. 31 touches. Unsuccessful touches, again, that must be where he go for it and he doesn't get it. I don't know. He had it for Bernardo, didn't he? But 2 of those. Dribble successful, 1 out of 3. He lost possession 8 times, which isn't that bad for his position, in fairness. On to Savvy, the guy who, Simon said one of his best games for City. It was, with a big hand in 2 goals and nearly getting on the score sheet as well. He's given him an 8. Perhaps he could have done better to get on the score sheet, but he did okay. Yeah, I'd give him an 8 as well. I don't say this very often when we have both wingers playing. He's usually the lesser of the two, but of course he outshone Doku by a long way last night and got a deserved assist. So I'd give him an 8 as well. He had, let's have a look at his stats. Apart from that assist, his expected assist was 0.75. So, yeah, it was sort of expected, wasn't it? Big chances created 3. 4 key passes. He made 3 crosses, none were accurate. 36 out of 42 accurate passes. In the opposition half, 27 out of 36 came off. In his own half, thankfully 9 out of 9. I wish Doku had been a bit better clearing his lines in the second half. 100%. Long balls accurate, 1 out of 1. Shots on target, 1. Big chances missed, 1. Touches, 59. Unsuccessful touches, 3. Dribble success 5 out of 6. And he lost possession 15 times, which sounds a lot, but in his role where he's having to take people on, etc., it's not too bad. On to the other guy, on to the other wing, who squandered an early chance at Simon. Doku, of course, in the box. Wasn't able to have the same success as his fellow wingers. Give him a 6. I think Simon's been kind. I might have been a little bit cruel. He couldn't really beat his man at any time whatsoever. A couple of openings came his way and he either sort of fell over the ball or he didn't quite hit the man with his cross. So I've only given him a 5. Let's just have a quick look at his stats, see if I'm being harsh there. 14 out of 18 accurate passes, so he wasn't involved that much. It mostly went down Savvy's wing, which is no surprise because he was having more success. Passes in the opposition half, 12 out of 15 were accurate. Passes in his own half, 2 out of 3. Well, so a bit better. I just thought he he was sort of struggling to get the ball out in that second half on his side. But then again, he wasn't getting much help, was he? He wasn't getting much people to help him out, unfortunately. 42 touches, unsuccessful touches 2. 2 out of 7 dribbles successful. Was fouled 5 times, so at least he did the old Grealish bit, got us a few fouls. He lost possession 14 times, shots on target 1, big chances missed 1. Yeah, perhaps I could have pushed to a 5.5, but I'll leave it at 5. I just expect a lot more from Doku these days because he has improved vastly, and that was a little bit disappointing last night. Perhaps if they switched, I know Savvy was having great joy on the other side, but perhaps just switch for 20 minutes just to, put each other, but it might have ruined Savvy's flow as well. So I don't blame the team for just sticking and obviously putting most of the stuff down Savvy's side because Doku wasn't quite doing it on his, wasn't getting the success on his, of course. Better defender, probably. Yeah, probably. And of course, the left back got a booking early as well, didn't he, on the other side. On to Haaland, a goal, said Simon, inevitably, and he kept going all game in another all-action performance. The form of his life continues, it certainly does. I think he had an half chance or two. There was one in that first half where he sort of tried to walk it in, and Haaland should have took a shot rather than passing it over to Doku, I think, at the time. But yeah, an 8 out of 10 is fair. I've given him a 7.5. I don't think he was overly involved as much as usual. He did come back to defend as and when needed, certainly in that second half. But we couldn't find him much. He did what he had to do, scored the goal when it came, that put us on our way, and a good performance. So I've given him a 7.5. Simon gave him an 8. His expected goals was 0.67, so of course still quite high, and he got it. Total shots 4, shots on target 3. That's okay. Accurate passes 4 out of 5, so not many. 2 out of 2 in the opposition half were accurate, and 2 out of 3 in his own half were accurate. Trying to clear our lines at the time. 12 touches, so 12 touches in a game. You're going to give someone an 8 for that, but hey, never mind. Possession lost 3 times, so yeah, I'll stick with the score I thought of. Onto the subs. Kovacic, again, another one I can't recognise with this long hair these guys are wearing now. It just totally confuses me. I'm easily confused. He came on for Gonzalez, of course. Some excellent balls, said Simon. Through for Haaland and others. Yeah, I thought he did okay. The haircut certainly not harmed his play. And for his only second cameo performance, I thought it was quite good. Simon's given him a 7, I'd give him a 6.5. Created 1 big chance, 2 key passes, 35 out of 35 his passes, so 100%, well done. Passes in opposition half, 15 out of 15. Passes in his own half, 20 out of 20. Now, if you can carry on that, mate, you can play every week. Long balls, 1 out of 1. 40 touches, was fouled once, possession lost once. So, yeah, Kovacic, 6.5. I think I'm being a bit harsh now, but he only played half an hour. I can't go too mad on that. But well done. It's good to see him back, and he might get a bigger role to play at Villa. But check out my Villa preview soon, guys, if you want to see my thoughts on that one. Reinders for Lewis. He can carry the ball out of danger, said Simon, but sometimes runs into it. Yeah, he does. He seems to do something really good and then pushes that ball a little bit too far, doesn't he? Simon gave him a 6. He wasn't on long enough for me to mark, but yeah, he gave us fresh legs. But yeah, I think Reinders might have a little stint on the bench at the moment. I've got a Carabao Cup game coming up. He'll probably play, but I think someone else might get a chance over the next game, certainly for the next league game. Yeah, accurate passes, 5 out of 8, so 63%. 2 out of 4 in the opposition half, 3 out of 4 in his own half. He had 10 touches, lost possession 5 times. That's quite not great, is it? Lost possession 4, had 10 touches, lost possession 5 times. Anyway, Bob, of course, came on. Little to report, said Simon. Yeah, I thought he did okay when he came on, but again, it wasn't long enough for me to mark. 1 key pass. 11 out of 12 of his passes were accurate. 7 out of 8 passes accurate in the opposition half. 4 out of 4 in his own half. 15 touches. He had one dribble that wasn't successful. He was fouled once. Lost possession twice. I thought of the two, Bob was obviously far better, but Simon's only given him a 6, and the same as Reinders. But we've got a mark. I would have given Bob higher than Reinders, but there you go. I'm not Simon, am I? So what the hell do I know? There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, as I said, the story of the game will be out on, what day are we today? Lost track. Wednesday, but Wednesday today, so the game will be out on Friday, I think. Yeah, before the Villa game on Sunday. Will be a preview of the Villa game, of course. That'll be out on Thursday, so please check out that. I say that story of the game, Villa preview of the Villa game, and lots of other stuff on the channel. Let me know your ratings as well, guys. Your player ratings. Let me know how you thought the boys did. As I said, I'm usually a bit less than Simon. I think there was one guy there I gave a higher score than Simon did, which is unusual. But as I said, it's hard to mark, isn't it? What do you think? I mean, when we have such a good first half, I mean, you've got to sort of knock little points off for a second half display. As a unit, we seem to sort of try and contain, but we're not great at containing. So we had a few dodgy moments. But all credit Villarreal. I thought once they made a couple of substitutions in the second half, I thought they had a go. But yeah, join me for the story of the game anyway. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Thanks for joining me, guys. Please push those buttons. If you want to contact me, please do so through YouTube or any of my socials. I'm on a few out there. So to find out which, and also if you want to do help promote the channel or help the channel in other ways, sponsorship, etc., if you can just spare another few moments to keep watching and listening.
Thanks for that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the feature anyway, and please, if you can, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, that'd be wonderful. And if you're not already a subscriber, it'd be great if you could subscribe. It's absolutely free. Also, check out all my social media links. They'll be in the description and comments below if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. We can chat on there and do all things City, of course. Also, if you're into film and TV, don't forget a lot of this channel is film and TV stuff. I love me film and TV like I do City. So if you're into that, have a look. Or if you know someone who might not be that bothered about the football but likes film and TV, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very grateful. And special thanks as ever to supporters of the channel. Piat6505. They've got a little eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia mainly, including books, magazines, posters, lots of posters, and they do have some City stuff as well that they've purloined off me over time, so there'll be a few bits and pieces, probably more going on as well. So have a look at Piat6505 on eBay. And yes, if you do go onto eBay, and if you're a member, we do have memberships, 99p a month. You get early access to all my vlogs, so as soon as I do them, you get them. Sometimes it could be months before they're published generally, so a lot of the history stuff, so you have access. The membership gives you access to that. It gives you 10% extra off at Piat6505 if you want to buy any of that memorabilia. That's all that you can actually gain that from being a member. And support the channel. That's a great way of supporting the channel, of course, like watching the ads on the original thing that you've seen now, my original feature. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, also, before we go, podcasts. If you like your podcasts, I do a podcast with Mike Long in South Korea. It's called Bolt from the Blue in our 8th season. Yeah, we've had some good fun on there. We're trying to have a bit of humour, generally look at City's games as and when we play them, have a look back. So please check out that. It's on Soundcloud, Spotify, all good places you get your podcasts from. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed everything about this feature, and you didn't mind me asking you about this at the end. And please, all I ever ask for you is to stay safe, everyone, especially you Blues.